34, female, sitting in studio apartment tonight, wondering how everything went so wrong. Let me tell you about my marriage to successful businessman David, who I thought would be my meal, ticket for life through alimony payments. Married him when I was 23. He was 31 with growing business. Seemed like perfect catch for me. Good-looking, successful, and ambitious always. I was working retail at department, store making barely minimum wage then. He swept me off my feet, with expensive dinners and fancy dates. Proposed after only 8 months together. Quit my job immediately after wedding. Said I wanted to focus on being good wife and homemaker instead. He was happy to provide everything. While I stayed home and enjoyed comfortable lifestyle he worked hard for. Spent my days shopping with friends, getting nails done and going to expensive spa treatments every week regularly. Posted Instagram photos of my perfect life to make other women jealous. Designer handbags, shoes, and jewelry constantly. Never looked at price tags ever. His credit card was always available for whatever I wanted to buy. Took exotic vacations twice per year to places I couldn't pronounce names. Always flew first class and stayed at 5-star resorts and hotels. Felt like I was living dream. Life without any real responsibilities ever. David worked 60-hour weeks building his business while I enjoyed fruits of his labor without contributing anything. Never cooked, cleaned, or did household chores because we had cleaning lady. Ate at expensive restaurants every night because cooking was beneath my lifestyle. Treated David like personal ATM machine, always asking for money for shopping. Spa treatments and girls' trips constantly. Began taking his hard work for. Granted, as years passed by, slowly. Started feeling bored and unsatisfied with marriage despite having everything material wanted. David was always working or tired from building business and providing lifestyle. Began complaining he didn't give enough attention or romance like beginning of our relationship when he courted me. Started flirting with personal trainer at expensive gym. David paid for monthly. Felt like I deserved more excitement and passion than David was providing. Began having affair with trainer who was younger and more attentive to my needs and desires constantly. Got sloppy with hiding affair evidence. David found hotel receipts and messages. Confronted me about cheating and lies. Expected him to forgive and move on because our lifestyle was perfect. Instead, he filed for divorce immediately. Said he couldn't trust me anymore. Hired expensive lawyer to protect assets. I panicked and got my own. Lawyer who assured me that alimony would set me up for life, explained that I was entitled to. Maintain same standard of living after. Divorce through monthly alimony payments forever. Calculated that David's income would mean thousands per month for me indefinitely. Felt confident that divorce would actually improve my situation without David's rules. Lawyer said I could get half of everything plus monthly payments for years since I sacrificed career for marriage and homemaking role obviously. Went into divorce proceedings feeling excited about freedom and financial security guaranteed. Figured I would get house cars and enough alimony to continue shopping and spa lifestyle without annoying husband. Reality hit hard during divorce proceedings. David's lawyer proved that his business income was much lower than expected. Most of money was reinvested back into business growth, not personal income. Learned that fancy lifestyle was mostly funded by business credit and loans, not actual cash flow like assumed. House was mortgaged to fund business. Expansion, so equity was minimal there. Cars were leased, not owned outright. Jewelry and designer items had depreciated significantly since original purchase dates, obviously. David's actual salary was much lower than the lifestyle he provided suggested. Judge awarded me temporary alimony of only $1,500 per month total, far less than my lawyer predicted, barely enough to cover basic apartment, rent, let alone maintain previous lifestyle. Appeals and legal fees ate through my settlement money within 6 months. Had to sell designer items for fraction of original cost to survive. Moved into studio apartment in bad. Neighborhood because rent was affordable there. Got job at retail store again. After 15 years out of workforce. Starting salary was even lower then. Before, because I had no recent experience or relevant skills developed. 40 hours per week for minimum. Wage barely covered basic living expenses. No money left for spa treatments, shopping, or expensive dinners out constantly. Alimony payments were often late because David's business struggled after divorce. Legal fees and settlement costs damaged his company's financial stability significantly. Sometimes payments didn't come at all. When business had bad months, had to take him to court repeatedly to enforce alimony orders, which cost more money I didn't have. Learned that alimony isn't guaranteed income. Stream like salary from actual job depends on ex-spouse's ability to pay and business success over time. David's business eventually failed, completely due to financial strain from divorce costs. Alimony stopped coming altogether when he filed for bankruptcy protection legally. Court couldn't force him to pay. Money he didn't have available anymore. Lawyer said I could pursue wage garnishment, but David was unemployed now, working entry-level job, barely surviving. Himself, after losing everything in bankruptcy, realized I had destroyed both our lives by cheating and demanding divorce, instead of appreciating what we built. Now I'm working 2 retail jobs to afford basic studio apartment rent, eating ramen noodles most nights because grocery budget is extremely tight always, no health insurance or benefits from part-time retail positions I hold. Can't afford car, so take bus everywhere, which takes hours daily commute. See my former friends posting expensive vacations and shopping trips on social media while I can barely afford basic necessities for survival each month. They stopped inviting me to events because I can't afford to participate in their expensive lifestyle anymore, obviously. Tried dating, but men my age want women with careers or money, not divorced retail worker with baggage. Younger men aren't interested in older woman with financial problems and drama. Realized too late that I had perfect life and threw it away for temporary excitement and validation from a fair partner who disappeared immediately when divorce proceedings started getting complicated legally. He wasn't interested in poor divorced woman only, the wealthy married one. Sitting here realizing that alimony isn't magic solution to life problems like my lawyer made it seem originally. It's unreliable income dependent on someone else's success and willingness to pay. My lifestyle was funded by David's hard work, not some automatic right to luxury that would continue forever. Wish I had appreciated what we built together instead of taking everything for granted and destroying our marriage. Now, David is remarried to someone who appreciates his work ethic and doesn't take his providing for granted. They are rebuilding his business together as team while I struggle alone daily. Learn that alimony is temporary solution, not permanent lifestyle funding like expected. Courts expect you to become self-sufficient, not live off X forever. My lawyer oversold what I could expect to receive and for how long payments would actually continue realistically. Now I'm cautionary tale about women, tale about who think divorce and alimony will solve their problems or improve life. Reality is much harsher than fantasy of living comfortably off ex-husbands. Work while you do nothing productive. Alimony didn't save me at all. It barely kept me afloat temporarily, before disappearing completely when David's income stopped due to business failure caused by financial strain of our divorce. Thought I was smart getting half of everything but half of debt. And failed business isn't worth much. Should have worked on our marriage instead of planning my exit strategy.